Some days I am the ocean, some days I am the ship. Tonight I'm the lighthouse, at the edge, alone and burning. Hi, let's go to another book review. Today we will talk about the book Does It Hurt? It's a dark romance book written by H.D. Carlton. I think it's Carlton. I think I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Published in 2022, July 2022. It's again the dark romance. It it has a lot to do with survival and deception. It has a little bit of dark romance. I think some people may say it's like it's a really dark book, but I didn't like it wasn't that dark. But if you are sensible, uh, I don't know, it can be triggering with some aspect with some stuff, but it's really cool. It talks a lot of about healing and uh, open up and acceptance. Yeah, not to give spoilers. It's literally the book tell the story about a American girl. She's 26. I bet with names. I think she's 20. No, she's 28. Yes, she's 28. She's a fugitive, so she ran to Australia. And there she meets a guy, an Italian guy called Enzo. And since the moment that they meet each other, a lot of things happen. Like a lot of things. She have a tinted past. She went through a lot. She has a lot of trauma to heal, and him as well. But the funny thing is, like, it has common points in both of their story, but at the same time, it's really different. So the whole book talks about, well, it doesn't literally talk about that, but this is my impression of what I read. It's the importance of healing, and it literally shows you the process of you getting over your traumas and then opening yourself to new experience and new stuff, especially those that you spend your whole life running from. Um, they both had to learn how to trust each other, how to open up to each other, um, how to leave their past behind and not let it affect the way they perceive each other and the way they want to see their future. I really like the movie. I really like the book because, again, I think I'll be saying this a lot in this video, healing, the importance of it. It made me understand that it doesn't matter what happened in our lives, we cannot stop living and dreaming and let those demons consume us. Um, both of them had a lot of, both of them mean the main characters. They had a lot of, how can I put it? Turbulent moments, yeah, where they had to trust each other, even though they had open wounds that were like they were hurted not just by themselves to each other, but someone else. Like I said, past traumas. The book is written amazingly. It's just amazing the way the author explained every single thing, the steps it took, like from running to questioning if you should run or not, keep running or not, to meeting someone and having that person shaking your beliefs and your thoughts, making you change your plans, or even though just considering changing your plans, and then accepting um, love, not just love from other people, but loving yourself. I don't, the author didn't write like specifically the words of loving yourself, even the importance of loving yourself. But when you finish the book, you realize that, oh, you should love yourself and not stop living because of certain things that happen in your life. You should give yourself a second chance. And that's the whole thing of the book, giving yourself a second chance, giving yourself opportunity to be happy, opportunity to enjoy good parts of what this world have to give to us. The theme of the book is just amazing. It's just, it makes sense from the start to the end. Every single thing makes sense. How they're placed is just amazing. The plots are literally plotting. It has a lot of plot twists. When you think the things won't get worse, they get worse. When you think they'll get better, they get better. And then there's, you just, I don't know, when after the middle of the book, you start planning with them like, oh my gosh, how is this going to end? Um, how they will solve this issue, how they will get over this and that. So it's just amazing. The female character, um, she's not she's not a teenager. She's not a child. She's an adult. Like I said, she's 28, but she she has like part of her life that she never explored, or she never get a chance to explore. So it's really cool, especially when it comes to love, receiving love from other people. And then for that to make you love yourself. I didn't want to use this word, but yeah, it's it's just cool. Yeah, like she is experienced in a lot of things, especially when it comes to surviving. But she's still naive and inexperienced in some other aspect of her life. And seeing that character development is really cool, is really amazing. The guy, he's way more experienced than her, but at the same time, she triggers something on him. And they both work with each other at some point. I don't know if it's just consciously or unconsciously, they end up not fulfilling, but or even solving, but they help each other get over some stuff that makes them, um, I don't know, stronger together. And uh, I'm looking for adjectives that can explain literally what they did to each other the whole book, especially the moment when they open up and be like, oh, you do this to me, but I like it, or I want it. In a part of the book, she said, you're mean. And I liked it. That part, I don't know, it made me think a little bit of the reasons why she liked him, even though he was hurted with some of her actions. Um, but he kept, like, I'm like, oh, he's being mean to you at some point. Why you still like him? And I think it's because, like, her whole life, she had, she encountered a lot of mean people, mean in a mean way. While when it comes to the male character Enzo. Um, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say their names. The female character is Sour. I think Sour. How you say it? Sawyer. I think it's Sawyer, not Sour. So Sawyer and Enzo. Um, yeah, she. I think she liked how honest he was, and even though like he was pissed with some stuff, it's like I know the reason you acting this way. It can be my fault. It may not be my fault, but you're just honest and you open, and I understand those type of things. I know where you're coming from with this energy. So I think that part is a really interesting part because I again it's a triggering. It has a lot of triggering stuff. If you're sensitive, it's just so when you understand when you read and you keep reading and then you understand that part, it's like she went through this and this and that. So now she's seeing this and this and that. It makes sense for her to still be there and still be with the person and still trying and not trying sometimes. But yeah, when it comes to bad part of the book, I don't think it had like bad part. I like the whole thing. Like I said, it talks about something that I'm really interested in, healing, really, healing and forgiveness. Um, but the only thing that I didn't like was at the end something will happen, and the way I don't want to give spoilers, but the way they solved the issue was like, does it pattern in real life? But it's fiction. So in fiction, you can just whatever it's in there, you have to take it. It had something to do with legal procedures, and the way they solved it, I was like, I'm sorry. We have cameras and DNAs and records in this world. I don't know if you know about this. So how can you solve this issue this fast? But I don't know why I'm sharing this part because if you didn't read it, you won't understand. Because again, I don't want to give spoilers because it's a really important part of the book. But if you go read it, if you read it, you know what I'm saying. If you didn't and you're going to read it, come back to this part to understand it better. The book, it's called Does It Hurt? But the only time Does It Hurt was mentioned in the book was during spy scenes. I was like, it was really fun. The moment that I realized that it was just mentioned in those parts and those scenes, I was like, wait a minute. You never talk about it like in, but it's really interesting. The way the spy scenes were like written, it was so cool. Like I could feel like I was in there, at the same time I wasn't in there. It was just well explained. I loved it. If you like books that have spy scenes, read this one. It's just amazing. I think it's one of the most like spicy books that I read my whole life. It's probably not like the number one, but it's literally in the top five because it's really amazing. It's just well explained. It's just cool, um, and serious at the same time, and dark at the same time. It's just read it. If you just have time to read a book, read this one. It's just amazing. There is a lot more to talk about this book, but I don't think I can say more stuff because I'll have to talk about spoilers. No, I'll have to give a lot of spoilers. And I cannot because the stuff that I want to talk, or the stuff that I could be talking about, it would be really essential for the plot. And again, it have a lot of plots. The plot twists of this book is just wow. You're in a place thinking like, oh, nothing worse can happen. It happens. I was like, okay, now they're okay. They're not. Okay, this is not a spoiler. Oh no. If you didn't read this book, again, I recommend for you to read it. If you did, I would love to hear your point of view. Well, to read, to read your point of view about the book, and if you have any suggestion about books that are similar, or do you think that's better, not just in the sense of the story and how it's written or the spiciness of it, just you find it similar in an aspect. I would love for you to recommend it. Comment below, and if you want to hear more book reviews, I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, and see you next video.